So I had her trimming the mainsail looser for this race, but we went too loose. I still wanted it tight, just not quite that as tight as it was, but we went for a while, we were so loose that we weren't going towards the mark. No problem. It is a remarkable sport, making these little pigs move. Look at her go. She's having a little problem on port tack, not getting up to the mark. She's going a little bit too far away from the wind, and it's a sport that punishes you for making little tiny airs. But that looks really good now. She's right on the wind. The wind didn't shift her way here. She isn't really going towards the mark, but hopefully when she gets on starboard, that one's going to be taking her right up there. One of our goals is going to be to keep our main sheets tighter on the tacks. We do ease them after the tack, but we want to let the boat heel over after the tack. So the boat tacks, heels over a little, and then we burp it out. A lot of people ease their main sheet so they can get under the boom easier, but believe it or not, we don't ease it very much until the boom goes all the way across, and then maybe inch, just little eases. Oh, big rounding here. Did it. So your family gets to watch you shredding. I can tell you right now, I have coached a lot of kids, lots. And we have kids that are doing the America's Cup. We have kids that we've got over 15 kids sailing in major college programs right now. We got a guy sailing the Sail GP. We got a girl that looked just like Jade 15 years ago. Paris Hankin just went to the Olympics. And I gotta tell you, I've rarely had a kid with this little experience look that good in a boat. In a year and a half, she's gonna look like this guy. This guy is the best in the fleet right here, 8662. He's 11 years old, and he's done at least 40 regattas in his life. 3 Dutch shoes, at least, maybe 4. See how steady they are? Mains in.
Mission Bay Coach, Mission Bay Coach.
Watch how they jump to the other side when they tack.
Sorry, I don't know his name. 7880 wants to disqualify himself from this race.
That's what we want to look like. Watch that tack over and over, rail to rail tack.
I'm on my way down there.
Chris and Kevin sailing with a little too much heel, but their wake is so huge, it's not bugging me. See how much power he's got?
9369.
And he's just charging with a lot of wake on that leeward side. So too much heel. We could flatten the sail, we could hike harder, but I think you just got like a 5th. If the wind was this strong the whole day, we'd go more outhaul, more Cunningham, and a little more Vang upwind. Okay, both of our girls sailed down towards that pin end again. So we're gonna, for race 4 after lunch, we're gonna talk about not getting ourselves down there so early. See how Catherine was sitting right here with 30 seconds to go, but then they went fast, and they ran out of runway. They sailed right off the start. But the good news is that end is pretty good, and she's gonna accelerate now. Just charging right there. Beauty. We also talked about this race going more to this corner. I don't know if it's gonna work now. I think the wind's actually changed to the right more now, but the first few races you had to find port tack, that port tack lift, and get on it and just go with it as long as you could. Right now we've got starboard tack lifts, so she should just keep on going, and hopefully the wind will shift to her left as she gets out to the side. Now that I look over here, very unlikely that's gonna happen. Kevin being more conservative. He's gonna be a great starter because he really knows where the line is, but he pushed it too hard. Okay, Chris pulled the trigger too early. Oh, 9504, the race committee just had to call his own son over early. got his main sheet jammed in the cleat somehow, but recovered here. And then there's Kevin again. We gotta learn to stabilize. There's just too much left in this main. Pump his main and tip over. There we go. Now we got some stability. I don't know how his outhaul keeps getting eased. His outhaul keeps getting let off somehow. I don't know why I keep putting it on and then all of a sudden it's better. Little too erratic on the tiller. We need less tiller movement. He's just going back and forth so much. See how he gets loaded up? Telltales are saying head up. See that? Swirling telltale. Swirling telltale. Now it's flying. So look at the heel on his boat and then compare it to some of the other video you're seeing. You'll see he's just closer to the wind, cutting into the wind much sharper, not turning very much, not moving very much. Just look at him staring at his sail. Yeah. Understeered on the tack. Stayed on the wind good after the tack. This guy's got a lift right here.
King Novice, is anyone on the radio?
You got a lift.
Say again?
What we're gonna work on the next race, let's see if we can see his head. We're gonna have him stare at his telltales more as he comes into the mark. What's happening is he's watching the other boats. The wind is shifting so dramatically that he's getting on reaches. You know, the wind shifts, he's not heading up into that shift, and so then all of a sudden he's not on the wind, and you end up tacking 6 times in the last minute to the mark. So remember, if you tack 6 times, you're losing 24 seconds on those 6 tacks to everybody who's not tacking. 4 seconds per tack. No, you're losing more than that. You're losing like 3 or 4 boat lengths per tack. That's 4 seconds, so you're losing 4 times 4 seconds, or 6 times, yeah, 24 seconds.
Folks, after lunch.
So this time we had Jade start race 4 a little more cautiously, on starboard, going very slow. And you can see she's not at the pin having to tack or do anything. She's not at that orange buoy down there. She's just cruising. So that was a more conservative start, which is what we want to do. Starts are not something that we have to win. Oh, here's Kevin right here. Much more conservative start for Kevin. Darn, that outhaul. We just can't seem to get that sail set up right. Oh well. You can see how overpowered he gets in the puffs because that outhaul is so bagged out on the bottom, that Cunningham too loose. We've had 3 races. Our goals for the afternoon here are to tack a little less, keep the boat on the wind. There's times where we pull the tiller towards us and go on a reach, like right now. There we go, nice tack. A little bit too close to the wind at the end. Oh goodness, look at Kevin. If he gets a wind shift right now, he's first.
Which mark is that?
That's an A fleeter, 76321, or no, probably a B fleeter, but a good sailor.
It wasn't even a windward, but I probably
Yeah, the wind's gone left. That's okay. 30 seconds to go. Kate is now in a red boat. Catherine is now in a red boat because her boat was breaking, so I borrowed a really nice boat. And believe it or not, if she just trims in and starts going, the wind is so far left right now. Trim. 8662-9504. Those are the guys we're really watching. Those are the A fleeters. Pin end was favored. Paige Tilson's ahead. Watch this. She's going to tack and cross everybody. So what made today so hard is you'll see a puff right there, really dark water over there. I might be running out of gas. Didn't check my gas. It's been one busy day. Look at her go. First regatta for her, ever. Yeah, if you can sail that good in your first regatta, that's pretty special. Look at that, just charging. Leaders of race 4, the first start. We got 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Kevin's just about to go down the mine. He's totally swamped. Oh, there goes Kevin. Too bad. And then Jade.
John Rogers, we've got your red boat kit over again.
Yeah, I'll be right there. This has been your best race. And look who's right here. She's in your fleet. That's Paige Tilson. She's a B fleeter. She has won regattas before. And you're actually, if you get a wind shift right here, you're beating her after 15 minutes of racing. That is very, very good. You wouldn't know this, but I know all these kids. So if you're anywhere in the same ballpark as Paige Tilson, oh my goodness. Awesome. That's Paige, 102.03. This is after 15 minutes of racing. You are right with her. She is a really good sailor. She comes from a really good sailing family. And that's just really encouraging if you're anywhere in the same area. Now what I would have done, you don't know these kids, but I would have got closer to the people that look good. When you're sailing along, if you're close to them, go over and tack a little closer to them, and then you can compare yourself to them as you go along here. Beauty. 9504 just went around that buoy, the red and black boat right in there. He's an A fleeter. And here's Chris coming around the other side, 8900 over there. So, I think we got a little spooked after the capsize. Took us a little while to recoup, but doing well in this race. Here's Jade. Oh, darn. Oh, 9405 was so good right there. Caught the boom so it didn't hit Jade in the head. So that was 9405 right away. That's okay, I caught it on tape. You were port tack, he was starboard. You did a good job surviving that. But the 9405 reached up and grabbed their boom as it was swinging. That was really smart because it could have whacked you on the head. Race 5, Sabot 2 South. July 9, 2019. You got Jade getting better and better. Look at that start, boat 22, 9504 A fleeter, and you're in the same vicinity. And I don't know if Chris is in this start or not. I think he was. I think it's puff of the day.